It's F. Scott Fitzgerald's great American novel.
I'm going to tell you something about my life.
Really?
I don't want you to get the wrong impression from the stories you hear.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be exploring 10 pieces of trivia about The Great Gatsby.
Gatsby? What Gatsby?
Number 10. Gatsby's musical dream. While The Great Gatsby has been adapted for Broadway and turned into an opera, it's also inspired other musically inclined people.
Mr. Gatsby, I know how this feels.
After the indie folk outfit Reg and Phil wrote the song Daisy Buchanan, the South Korean boy band 2AM took things one step further and dedicated an entire EP to the Jay-Daisy relationship. But perhaps the biggest musical tribute is the Seattle indie rock band that named itself Gatsby's American Dream. Number 9. Great Gatsby Games. The Great Gatsby's influence on pop culture is so pervasive that it's even made its way to video games. That's right, gamers and American lit fans alike can get their nerd on with the hidden object game Classic Adventures: The Great Gatsby on their PCs or iPads. But if you're more into the old school thing, online players can try out the 8-bit Great Gatsby game for free. Number 8. The Great Ashby.
Why don't you tell me more about your girl? What girl? You know, the one that got away, the one with the house in Beverly Hills. Your Daisy Buchanan.
That's not cool, Moody. Calling back that shit? I was gorked. I don't talk about that stuff in broad daylight.
From Hank Moody's friendship with the wealthy but unhappy Lou Ashby to Janie Jones being described as Daisy Buchanan, it's hard not to see the similarities between Californication's second season and Fitzgerald's great American novel.
God hates us all. That was your Gatsby.
A secondary character named Daisy is even introduced later on. And while the show obviously misses some plot points, Moody's and Ashby's ups and downs are too close to Carraway's and Gatsby's to ignore.
And, you know, he throws these huge parties, and these people come and they drink his booze and they act like they're his friends.
Yeah, I've heard.
Guest of honor never shows.
Number 7. Hello, Daisy. Though Baz Luhrmann considered at least 13 different Hollywood starlets for Daisy for his 2013 film, it was Carey Mulligan's audition that eventually wowed studio execs.
I wish we could just run away.
Landing the role meant so much to the Oscar-nominated Brit that she started crying upon hearing the news from the director.
I answered, and he said, "Hello, Daisy," and I burst into tears. And so there's a photograph that someone snapped as they walked past of me crying into a napkin on the phone.
That moment was captured forever by a photographer who snapped the actress tearing up into a napkin while holding the phone on the red carpet.
I'm certainly glad to see you again.
I'm certainly glad to see you as well.
Number 6. Mia is Daisy. Seems like Mia Farrow was destined to play Daisy Buchanan.
I'm paralyzed with happiness.
Though the 1974 role was originally set for producer Robert Evans' wife, Ally McGraw, her affair with Steve McQueen during the production of The Getaway changed that. Farrow ended up beating out at least 5 other actresses. She was considered such a good fit that director Jack Clayton shot around her pregnancy by using many close-ups and dressing her in loose-fitting attire.
I've never seen such beautiful shirts before.
Number 5. A gay Nick Carraway?
Oh, thank you.
He may be credited with writing the 1974 film's screenplay, but Francis Ford Coppola wasn't the first choice. Producer Robert Evans intended to give Robert Towne the job, but the screenwriter chose to work on what became the Oscar-winning screenplay for Chinatown instead. Truman Capote also took a stab at it, but lost the gig after putting a homosexual spin on the Nick Carraway and Jordan Baker characters.
Won't you come in, Nick?
Number 4. The Great Gatsby times 2.
You can't repeat the past. You can't repeat the past. Of course you can.
American actor Howard DaSilva first made a name for himself by appearing in the original Broadway musicals of The Cradle Will Rock and Oklahoma. In 1949, he was cast as the dim-witted mechanic and garage owner George B. Wilson in the second film version of Fitzgerald's novel.
You'll have to give me something smaller, mister. I'm sorry.
Keep the change.
$20?
Yeah, I'm in a hurry.
25 years later, he returned to Jay Gatsby's world as the Jewish gangster gambler Meyer Wolfsheim in Jack Clayton's interpretation of the romantic drama.
You sit here and discuss your sports and your young ladies and your... As for me, I'm 60 years old, and I won't impose myself on you any longer.
Number 3. Fourth time's not the charm. Sometimes being beautiful can work against you. That's what happened to classic beauty Jean Tierney, who was turned down for the role of Daisy in the 1949 film.
Don't be sad.
This would have marked her 4th screen outing with Tyrone Power. The matinee idol subsequently withdrew his participation following her dismissal.
This time you won't get away so easily.
And actress Betty Field and popular 40s celeb Alan Ladd replaced them.
But you mustn't think I'm different from other people, Jay. I'm no better, really I'm not.
You're still the best, Daisy. That's what counts with me.
Number 2. A lost film. The first filmed version of The Great Gatsby was a silent black and white movie from 1926, based on Owen Davis's stage adaptation of the novel. Starring Oscar winner Warner Baxter, the Herbert Brennan-directed motion picture can no longer be viewed in its entirety because no copies have been found. The only proof of its existence is a 1-minute trailer preserved by the American Library of Congress. Number 1. The Great Book Cover. When Spanish artist Francis Cugat painted his celestial eyes for The Great Gatsby's cover, he probably never thought it had become so renowned in American lit.
Hey, Lupus, did you notice that thing?
What's the matter with you?
Them eyes. They get you.
Featuring a woman's eyes and lips, with a naked female form reflected in those eyes, the Art Deco piece was sent to Fitzgerald while he was still writing the book. It so captivated him that he claimed it inspired some of its imagery.
But you can't fool God. God sees everything.
Are you a Great Gatsby fan? What's your favorite piece of Great Gatsby trivia? For more informative trivia lists, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I don't want to go home.